Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really close look at AIFE, the AFX token, and some, well, pretty fascinating recent market action.
That's right.
Our mission is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We've got this raw market data you've provided, snapshots taken really close together, and we want to pull out the key insights. What does it tell us about AFX's health right now? And maybe, just maybe, its strategic direction.
Yeah, think of it as giving you a shortcut to getting smart on this quickly. Some surprising stuff in here.
Definitely. Clear analysis, hopefully.
And this data, I mean, it was captured less than an hour apart. That's the really strike thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but even in that tiny window, you see genuinely significant shifts. We're talking liquidity, market value, trading volume, and crucially, that buy-to-sell ratio.
Okay.
So our job today is to kind of connect those dots for you, see what they really tell us strategically about where AFX stands and, where it might be going.
All right, let's dive in then. So
Okay.
the first thing, and maybe it seems a bit on the surface, the AFX price itself. It stayed remarkably stable, just hovering around, what, $17.45?
Exactly. Pretty flat.
Which, for a lot of people, maybe doesn't scream big news. But here's where it gets, really interesting.
Right.
What was happening around that stable price? That tells a completely different, much more dynamic story. It's like the calm surface of a pond, but there's a lot going on underneath.
That's a great way to put it. That price stability. Yeah, you could easily mistake it for just nothing happening. But you're absolutely right. The shifts in those other metrics, they're dramatic.
Yeah.
And way more telling. It shows this intense activity bubbling just below.
So it suggests a kind of foundational strength, maybe.
I think so, yeah. Steadiness, even when there's significant capital moving around.
Okay, so let's get into those undercurrents.
Yeah.
First big thing that really jumped out, liquidity.
Yeah.
In that less than an hour window we mentioned, AFX's liquidity didn't just creep up, it surged, significantly.
How much are we talking?
It went from around $700 million to nearly $740 million. That's almost $40 million.
Almost $40 million in under an hour.
That's astonishing.
It really is. And what's fascinating strategically is the sheer speed and scale of that.
Right.
I mean, for any project to pull in nearly $40 million that quickly, it's not just noise. It's a massive positive signal.
So what does it signal? A robust system, big money moving in.
Well, it could be both, but strategically. It points to one of two things. Either the system is incredibly solid, able to handle huge transactions without breaking a sweat.
Okay.
Or, and this is perhaps more likely, it suggests a major injection of capital, from really substantial players. Think maybe a mini fund or some big institutional money making a move.
Interesting.
It paints this picture of growing confidence, right? Deep financial backing, real underlying strength. The system isn't just ticking over, it's actively, strongly expanding.
Okay, wow. And it wasn't just liquidity that was on the move.
No, not at all.
The trading volume. That's the next piece that really highlights this momentum, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
We saw that more than double in the same short period, from about $100,000 to an amazing $235,000.
Doubled, yeah. That's a clear sign momentum is building for the token, no doubt.
But then you layer on the buy-to-sell ratio, and that's where the story gets, really compelling for me.
Oh, completely. The volume surge points to interest, sure, but that buy-to-sell ratio, it was over 98%.
In both snapshots.
In both snapshots. It's frankly remarkable. So for you trying to understand this, it means the buying pressure is just immense.
Overwhelming.
Totally overwhelming any selling pressure there might be. Imagine a giant vacuum just sucking up all the available AFX tokens.
Yeah.
The market is just constantly absorbing them. It shows incredibly strong, sustained demand. Sellers just can't keep pace.
Okay, but hang on. This feels a bit weird, right? If buying is so high, volume is surging. Why is the price staying relatively stable around that $17.45 mark? Strategically, what's going on? Shouldn't the price be moving more?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's a really vital insight for you to consider.
Okay. This paradox, huge buying, soaring volume, stable price, it's actually a textbook signal.
For what?
For accumulation.
Oh, okay.
It strongly suggests that sophisticated players, maybe those big funds we mentioned, are quietly building their positions.
Right, gathering tokens without wanting to push the price up too quickly.
Exactly. They're carefully acquiring tokens, likely anticipating a significant price move later on. They want to get set before that happens.
So it's less about general market excitement and more about deliberate, targeted moves.
Precisely. It's not just random retail buying. This looks like a classic pattern of strategic, large-scale positioning by people who likely think they know something.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Strategic plays. Which actually leads perfectly into another sort of oddity in the data.
Go on.
The actual number of participants, buyers and sellers.
Right. What happened there?
It went down quite sharply. Buyers dropped from 42 to just 9. Sellers from 7 down to only 2.
Okay, wait. Fewer people trading. But the overall volume surged, as we just said. How does that work? Fewer traders, much higher activity.
Yeah, that's another classic pattern. And it almost always points to what we call whale activity.
Whales, the big fish.
Exactly. A few very large players making really substantial, high-value transactions. It's not lots of little trades, it's a few massive ones.
Concentrated power, then.
Concentration of capital influence, yes. Or there's another strategic possibility here.
What's that?
It could even be a calculated move by the AIFEX project team itself, maybe orchestrating large movements to manage supply or boost liquidity strategically.
Interesting. Either way.
Either way, it signals a high level of confidence and very strategic positioning from significant actors, people with deep pockets or inside knowledge, perhaps.
Got it.
And actually, while we're talking scale, we should quickly reinforce the market cap and the FDV, the fully diluted valuation.
So stable.
Rock solid stable at an impressive $3.66 billion.
Which is huge, right? Especially for a project mainly on a DSX.
It's remarkably high for a project still primarily on a decentralized exchange, yes. That alone tells you something powerful about its market positioning and, frankly, its perceived potential already.
Okay, so let's piece this together for the listener. We got this picture of, like, surface stability and price.
Right.
But underneath, rapid liquidity growth, overwhelming buying pressure soaking everything up in these big strategic moves by whales or maybe the team.
A very dynamic picture.
Yeah. So for you, the listener, the critical question becomes, what do these powerful signals tell us about where AIFEX is actually heading? Is this just a blip, or is it laying the groundwork for something much bigger?
Well, based purely on this momentum we're seeing, the immediate outlook looks exceptionally positive.
How so?
Think about those daily inflows. If you see $20 to $40 million coming in each day, consistently.
Which is what the snapshot suggested was possible.
Exactly. If that continues, and assuming no major sell-offs or big liquidity pulls, AFX's liquidity could realistically hit the $1 billion mark.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow, how quickly?
Conservatively. Maybe within, say, 7 to 12 days.
That fast.
Potentially. And look, if the team throws in some extra strategic marketing or there are other positive catalysts,
Could be even faster.
could be faster. Maybe just 5 to 7 days. And hitting $1 billion in liquidity, that's a massive milestone for any project.
What does it signify?
It signals real market depth, significant maturity, and the ability to handle much larger trading volumes, much more growth.
Okay, that definitely sounds like a project aiming for exponential growth, not just small steps.
The trajectory certainly seems pointed that way.
Does all this positive momentum, especially the stability, the liquidity, does it also increase the chances, you think, of AIFEX getting listed on the major centralized exchange, like Binance, OKX?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that would be a huge deal for accessibility, right? A game changer.
Huge. And yes, the probability looks high. From a strategic viewpoint, it aligns perfectly. If you think about what the big CEXs look for, AIFEX is ticking a lot of the important boxes right now.
Like what?
Well, first, that high FDV we mentioned, $3.66 billion. That definitely gets you noticed by the top-tier exchanges. They want projects with serious market presence.
Okay, size matters. What else?
Second, the DX price stability. That consistent price, even with all the activity. Exchanges love that. It shows maturity, suggests the asset isn't likely to go completely wild the second it lists, less risk for them and their users.
Makes sense. Predictability.
Third, the natural trading volume. That robust growing volume we saw. It looks like genuine market interest, organic activity, another big plus.
Yeah.
And fourth, and this is crucial, their strategic supply control.
How they manage the tokens.
Exactly. The way AIFEX seems to be managing supply, maybe through staking, only unlocking 50% gradually. That's incredibly important.
Why is that key for exchanges?
Because it prevents sudden massive dumps, big market shocks right after listing. Exchanges need to protect their users and market integrity. A controlled supply release is a very good sign for them.
So putting it all together.
Yeah. If AIFEX keeps this momentum going, maintains this strategic approach, A CEX listing maybe within, say, 30 to 45 days. That seems reasonable.
Wow. Okay, so potentially quite soon.
Potentially. But, there's always the caveat. It's entirely subject to each exchange's own very rigorous due diligence, compliance checks, regulatory hurdles. That stuff always takes time.
Of course. Due process.
But the fundamental signals, they're definitely pointing towards that kind of major lead step up. The groundwork seems well and truly laid.
Okay, right. Let's really distill this for you, the listener. This deep dive, looking at just a tiny slice of time for AIFEX.
Less than an hour.
It's revealed some incredibly positive,
Yeah.
powerful signals. We're seeing that underlying price stability, yes, but also rapid liquidity growth, massive buying pressure, strategic whale moves, and now this clear, tangible potential for major exchange listings relatively soon.
Yeah.
It's a really compelling snapshot. Looks like a project firing on multiple cylinders.
It does. And to just reiterate the strategic implications here, AIFEX isn't just showing random growth spurts. It looks like it's demonstrating really intelligent market positioning.
Okay.
Strong fundamentals seem to be underpinning this, and there appears to be a well-defined path towards getting broader market recognition, wider accessibility. It's about seeing that vision, that potential, through the strategic lens.
Understanding the why behind the numbers.
Exactly. These data points aren't just numbers, they feel like indicators of deliberate, successful execution. They point towards a potentially powerful trajectory.
Right.
And maybe as a final thought for you to consider as we wrap up, beyond just maintaining these really impressive metrics we've discussed, the real question looking forward is probably about proactivity.
What proactive steps they'll take.
Yeah. What strategies will the AIFEX team actually deploy to maybe accelerate this growth even further? Or perhaps just as importantly, how will they navigate the potential regulatory complexities that, often pop up just before those major exchange listings?
That's a huge point, navigating regulation.
It is. Those proactive strategies and how they handle those challenges, those will likely be the critical variables. They'll determine the project's longer-term path, its ultimate standing in the market. It's about looking past today's data to the next set of strategic moves.
That's a critical point, definitely something to mull over.
Yeah.
A lot to think about, and certainly a lot to keep a close eye on regarding AIFEX. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.